the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight we are here at Southern National as we get ready to go pavement iRacing sprint car racing action. In the booth here tonight with me is none other than Ryan Kent. How you doing out here tonight, Ryan?
Well, outside of the airline on my way to the virtual Southern National Speedway, which lost my audio equipment, we're doing fantastic tonight. KR, how about yourself, my friend?
Well, my audio equipment is right where I left it last night, so I can't imagine what you're going through, but man, I am glad that you are here and able to join us for what is race number 8 of this iRacing season.
Yeah, it's set for another fantastic night, and this is a race that just about everybody has circled on the calendar. Southern National Speedway, Southern National Motorsports Park, located in North Carolina. This is a 4/10-mile speedway located right in the good heart of racing country in the U.S. of A. And tell you what, there's a lot of guys, like I said, that look forward to this one, and I know you and I do as well. This is a tight racetrack, a little more banking, a very racy joint, and I'm excited to get tonight's action underway.
I am too. As we come into week 8 of this iRacing official series, 4 drop weeks are allowed in a 12-week season of iRacing, and this is the final time that the points will stay in a, well, understandable manner for those of you who don't want to burn down a calculator. Ryan Sellers comes into tonight as your points leader. Jeffrey Stanton 60 points behind him in second place. Dan Smith falling to third. We have seen this points battle at the top change every single week, Ryan.
Yeah, it's been there's been a lot of back and forth and controversy, not just in the races that we've brought to you here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, but also in the other races. These guys typically race 3 nights a week, and man, there's been some crashes. There's been some disqualifications, some issues with pace cars and things like that. So, been a whole lot of gags and gifts throughout the course of the racing season so far. But the tide has certainly turned. This is a 12 race, 12 week league series, and they're on the second wind from here to the end of the year.
That they are. And speaking of second winds, guys, we're gonna play the national anthem. Step away for a minute as we switch over to the race server. No one go anywhere. We'll be back with tonight's racing action.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as qualifying is well and truly underway. Just under 3 minutes left in our qualifying session. And right now, Matthew Pilas on pole with a 12.346 JP Win Shittle, just 0.121 behind him. And Ryan, we have been waiting for JP to pick up a race win here in the broadcast. He came oh so close the first night out at IRP, finishing second last week at Stafford. What do you think he's got in store for us here tonight?
Yeah, I tell you what, and this is a place I think he might rather be in the third spot, which currently is held by Skylar Brown. But I'm not sure you want to start on the outside, especially on the initial start. But he's a guy that has just been very, very consistent. Has been able to, run very consistent laps, keep his tires underneath him, and really manage a race from start to finish. And just like we talked about, he led 74 3/4 of a lap at IRP, Lucas Oil Raceway Park, a couple weeks ago, and heartbreaker. And then not long after, in last week's Tuesday race, essentially had a win taken away from him. So heartbreak for a pilot of that number 4 car, but I think he'll be back on top here soon enough, and could potentially be tonight, as he qualified second so far out of 19 that have taken the time.
We do have 19 drivers in the server, and we're getting ready to fire them off as qualifying is winding down. So guys, while we wait, we're going to step away for a moment. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as qualifying is wrapping up here at Southern National. We get ready to line these 19 brave souls who have decided to spend the night behind a sprint car on pavement. Southern National Speedway will never be the same after tonight. That means it is time to go through our starting lineup for row number 1. On the inside will be the one of Matthew Pilas. On his outside, the 4 of JP Win Shittle. Row number 2 will be the 3 of Skylar Brown and the 2 of Steven Maestro. Row 3 will be the 5 of Jeffrey Stanton and the 10 of Gavin Morris. Row 4 will be the 16 of Kenneth Carlson and the 6 of James Tiernan. Row 5 will be the 8 of Ron Quinzel and the 7 of Alex KR. Stop calling me Oreo. We talk about this every week. Orions.
And 11th will be Mark Hepner in car at number 13. A little bit of a different look for Mark this week. Typically runs a 66, but Manuel Paredes lines up to his outside in the 12th spot. Justin Bankowski with us this week, who qualified in lucky number 13 in the 17th car. To his outside, the yellow number 14 is Richie Morocco. Behind them, starting 15th, Andre Jutau rolling off 15th in that great-looking Quaker State car. And then Clayton Fraley rolls off 16th. 17th belongs to Ian Habiuk, and 18th to Brian Crane. Curtis Critchley, I was watching him qualify and had an accident qualifying, so did not log a lap time. I believe he crashed coming to the white flag, finishing his first lap, so he will roll off in 19th. But Pilas and Winchell will start to pace the field behind that iRacing pace car. KR?
Lights are out on that Ford Mustang. It makes that turn down on the pit road, and Pilots wastes no time getting on the throttle. The one machine down into turn one unchallenged. JP Winchittle has no issue sliding into second place. That four machine now trying to track down the one and pick up his first win here on a Thursday night.
Your first five start to go single file. Then Jeffrey Stanton started to get knocked out of the groove as he now falls behind Tiernan, and he will fall back to the sixth spot. So Maestro loses a couple spots on that initial start right there as he is falling back now to the sixth spot. But a couple of battles here early on, especially as you move back. A couple guys start to go side by side, but this is a 55 lap race here tonight, KR. Kind of like we talked about, patience is going to be key, but there's no room for error here as Tiernan dives to the inside of Steven Maestro, trying to get back the battle for that fourth spot.
The 98 machine right now hot on the heels of the two. This is a battle for fourth place. The two going to go to the high side. Tiernan in the 98 down to the inside. He's going to make the pass here through this next set of corners up onto the straightaway, getting that power down on that inside lane. A little bit tricky here at Southern National, but Tiernan making it look easy.
To the track fairly well rubbered in. That's those dark grooves. Trying to stay pretty much in kind of what would be typically for some late model guys, kind of the middle of grooves number 1 and 2, but you definitely don't want to dance those left sides on that white or yellow concrete, the paint concrete down there, because that's when, if you hit a flat spot in these cars, they will punish you immediately. But Pilot starts to lead out front early. His advantage over Winchittle right now is just about half a straightaway. He leads by just about 1 second faster that last time by a tenth and a half over Winchittle, and Skylar Brown starts to ride in third. He was very impressive last week, rode in second forever. Could have potentially had a move for the victory, but ended up getting together with a lap car that really hurt his chances. We've got a yellow on the course.
Yellow flag coming out. We got a couple cars turned around as the leader is making his way around. Let's go and figure out what happened as we check out our turn 3 instant replay. Gonna see if we can catch this up. The 18 machine of Andre down into the corner. I believe he was one of the drivers involved in this one. He's gonna catch the 11 machine of Manuel. They are just both gonna make contact as the 11 had gone around moments before. Let's see if we can catch what caught out the 11 machine. It looks like the 9 of Clayton just going to get into his back bumper.
Yeah, those two, I haven't been able to see a replay of yet, but kind of catching it as it happened at the end there. Just maybe a little bit of incidental contact right there. It's going to unfortunately end the day for a couple of those drivers in terms of trying to be upfront competitive. But you know, a big part of these cars as well is just getting laps. Even if you can, get repaired and get back out, log more laps. That'll be very, very beneficial to you.
Working lap 14 of 55 as they come around. We're going to have 41 laps left to go in this one, and JP in second place going to have a shot at the reset here and try and track down this very fast one machine of Matthew Pilas. Matthew shot out like a cannonball in the opening start. Oh, I'll spit it out sooner or later, but man, that one machine looking like he is on rails here early on.
I think the airline might have lost your voice right there, KR. But,
oh my goodness, talk about tongue-tied.
As KR talked about, top 5 roll right now with Pilas and Winchittle leading Brown, Tiernan, and Maestro. An early mover, Justin Bankowski, not a driver that has been with us on the broadcast so far, at least I do believe, but he started 13th, is up to 9th. Been able to just kind of steadily make his way forward and puts himself inside of the top 10 as we roll back to green, and Pilot sees the green flag first with Winchittle chasing him behind. A battle for third starts to shape up with Tiernan and Brown as they work their way through turns number 3 and 4. Tiernan in that great-looking number 98 machines, trying to stalk the I'm doing the same thing you just did. Rear tail tank, Skylar Brown, as they work their way this time off the apex at turn number 4.
Brown holding on to third for the moment. Tiernan right now in fourth. Jeffrey the Jet Stanton down on the inside of the two of Maestro. Maestro gonna be in that losing outside lane as he tucks in behind the 5 machine. Meanwhile, just behind them is Gavin Morse and Justin Bankowski side by side in the 17 and the 10. This is a battle for 7th and 8th place, and they're going to be 3-car battle here as the 16 machine's going to come in. Kenneth Carlson, he's starting to make some noise.
Yeah, Carlson, simply enough, followed the line that Bankowski went, picked his move and picked his moment perfectly right there, and was able to just slide right on by the 10 machine of Gavin Morris. So move Bankowski from 13th up to 7th. He's gained 6 spots in just 22 laps, which of course we've got a couple of cautions to hamper that as well. Pilus has opened his lead back up to 0.6 of a second. The closest battle behind him, as we talked about, was Jeffrey Stanton. He started in 5th and lost a couple of spots on that initial start. Maestro was able to get by him, and now Maestro starts to try to close back in on him as they battle for the 5th spot. It's about 3-4 car lengths through the middle of the corner between those two in the battle for a spot inside of the top 5. Maestro started at 4th and has fallen back a couple spots to 6th, and then it's Bankowski, Carlson, Morris, and Oriens, your top 10 right now. Alex Oriens, who certainly whipped my rear end in practice, is running the top 10, so I'm not sure that's supposed to make me feel any better.
The 9 machine started in 10th, running in 10th place. And I'll tell you what, one of the best things I can tell you about these pavement sprint cars is having a ton of patience and picking the opportunities that are clearly there. Not one where you go, I think I can make this work. Because as soon as you think you can make something work in these pavement sprint cars, it will jump up and bite you.
Yeah, very much so. Like driving the pavement open wheel car in real life. A lot of patience and just adaptability. Slow to make decisions, slow to make judgments, and that'll hopefully see you through to the end, especially here in iRacing.
As the 9 machine trying to work over the green 10 in front of him, Gavin Morris holding on to 9th place. Alex trying to take it away from him. Meanwhile, the 8 machine of Ron Quinzel slowly closing in on
the front stretch.
We have
big accident.
James Tiernan has gone over in the 98. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and see how that all went down. The 98 battling side by side with the 3 of Skylar Brown. Jeffrey Stanton in the 5 machine going to try and make his way to the outside lane here. And contact between the 5 as Stanton was the one that went up and over. I incorrectly said Tiernan, but Stanton going to end up on his lid, and the 5 machine, unable to right that race car, ends up back in pit lane.
Yeah, Tiernan is still rolling, and but he is currently on the track rolling behind Skylar Brown, but he will he's officially scored a lap down right now, so that's gonna be tough for him to follow. As 4th place running Steven Maestro pulls into the pits, and not sure if he's got some kind of an issue, maybe if he caught the wall at some point, but looks like he did catch the wall. There's some damage to his right side nerf bar, so he's going to come in and get that, try to get that fixed and potentially come back out. But gonna have to do it quickly, as even under caution, guys fly around here relatively quickly.
Yeah, 29-second lap time under yellow, 12.4-second lap time under green flag conditions. Not a lot of time to work on your race car, and that 2 machine piloted by Steven is going to go a lap down. James Tiernan in the 98 does continue to cycle around out there after that heavy contact, but he is the first car 1 lap down. Right now, of the 19 drivers who started this race, we do have 14 on the lead lap. 2 of them are sitting on pit road, so things are happening very quickly here as the lights go out once again.
Yeah, 3 of the top 8 starters have now found their way into pit lane and have either eliminated themselves from competition or eliminated themselves from a possibility to win. Matthew Pilas leads out front in that yellow frame number 1 machine with Winchell right behind him as pace car ducks off pit road and we get back underway here at Southern National. 55 laps are scheduled green flag distance, and they work on lap number 37. They start to be a good battle back there for about the 5th spot as Carlson and Morris Orion start to get after it. Orion's has moved up a couple spots from his 10th place starting spots. He now slides into the 7th spot right behind Gavin Morris in that 10th school car. And they start to scatter back behind them throughout the course of the field. Pilas, though, has been so good on restarts, KR.
He has been solid on restarts all night long. Jumps out to a huge lead each time, gets to that throttle, gets the power down efficiently. But right now, in 11th place is the 19 machine of Ian Habiuk, and he is all over the back bumper of the 11 just ahead of him. That is Richie Morocco. I'm sorry, the 11 machine. Ooh, that is Manuel. He is 1 lap down. Morocco in the 14 just ahead of him. So Ian, who has moved forward here tonight, putting in a solid performance, trying to get into the top 10.
Yeah, he right now is trying to get by, as you mentioned, a lap car of Paradis, and he's got Curtis Critchley starting to breathe down his neck as well, as that's a 3-car battle, but only the second 2 of those 4 position, or of course 2 of those guys have orange cages, which is not something that you see every single day, but of course those 2 guys would be right there side by side, and the 11's going to sweep up the racetrack, and those 2 guys are going to be able to slide by here without much consequence, except for getting held up for a couple of laps right there. So now pretty much everybody's starting to single file out, settle into a groove. We've got 10 laps to go. Looks to be maybe the best battle on the racetrack to be for the second spot as Tom Brown starts to slowly close in on JP Winchell for that runner-up spot on the podium.
3rd place is the 3 machine of Skylar Brown, the 4 of JP Winchell just ahead of him. As we're looking at 9 laps to go. Matthew Pilas in the 1 machine out to a comfortable lead here at Southern National and has been unchallenged all night long, running a very smooth race.
Good battle back in the back for the 7th spot, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Carlson, Quinzel, and Hefner, as they run pretty much just about nose to tail behind Alex Orions, and those 5 guys right there from spots 5 through 9 are starting to put on a pretty good battle. They were sorting things out there. They went side by side for a couple laps, and Quinzel's trying to make a move, and he actually got into the wall right there, and he's going to climb into turn number 3, and that's going to bring out a yellow.
Ron Quinzel in the 8 machine looks like he is stuck on the wall, trying to get it off the wall, but man, I think that wall has grabbed him. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and see how this all went down for the 8 of Ron Quinzel. As he was making his way onto the straightaway, trying to go to the outside lane, just climbed that wall and got up into the catch fence and really struggled to try and get down off the wall. So Ron Quinzel had to take the flatbed back to pit lane, and that is where he finds himself right now.
So what, every time I dash to somebody that's outside of, I guess, your viewing area, they end up somehow getting into the wall or flipping. So I need to stop jumping off script here, KR. I'm giving some guys some bad luck, little broadcaster jinx here as we got a couple laps to go once we get back to green.
Yeah, just a handful of laps going to be left in this race. Because right now we have 3 laps to go in our 55 lap scheduled distance. And Ryan, these pavement sprint cars are moving so fast. I mean, we were doing 12.4 seconds around this 0.35 mile racetrack. That is flat getting it.
Yeah, they are definitely getting after it, as lights are still on the pace car right now, so we're gonna just go over that 55 lap limit. I believe by probably just one. Should get 1 to go this time. But I tell you who's been impressive. Justin Bankowski started 13th. didn't practice exceptionally well, didn't even break into the 12-second bracket, was faster by 0.3 in qualifying to a 12.7, and now has worked his way from 13th up to 4th and is knocking on the door of Skylar Brown, who rides in 3rd for a podium spot as lights go out. We'll be back to green this next time by what should be a white checkered finish, I believe, KR.
Yes, this will be our one and only shot at a green-white checkered finish. That 17 machine looking to score a ton of iRating as he is sitting in 4th place. The one of Pilots up on the wall. Here we go. Final time. Green flag flies and the 17 dives down to the inside. But he may pay for that one as the 10 trying to work his way around Gavin Morris side by side.
And Bankowski just missed his window of opportunity. Speaking of window of opportunity, just opened up again as Brown trying to make a move to the inside of windshield. That moves. There's a good battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th as Pilots, for the final time, works his way through turns number 3 and 4. Matthew Pilots is going to win here at Southern National. At the line, 2nd to Winchell, 3rd to Brown. Bankowski and Morris finish out 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Heck of a finish right there on that final restart to bring us to the twin checkers.
Yeah, the double checkers fall here at Southern National. Your race winner going to be the one of Matthew Pilots as he makes his way onto the front stretch. JP Winchittle finishing in 2nd. Skylar Brown 3rd. And man, you mentioned the hard charging 17 of Justin Bankowski going to end up in 4th place. So an outstanding finish here tonight. And guys, we're going to see if we can get some of these guys into TeamSpeak for an interview. And while we wait for that, Ryan, Southern National Speedway, a outstanding race here tonight. A quick one, small track, fast cars, 55 laps done and over with in a hurry.
Yeah, no kidding. If there wouldn't have been a couple of cautions, I think we would have been legitimately done in probably about, 24 minutes. Pretty daggone quick. But rapid pace, just an on top of you, insane environment tonight, and ultimately a very, very good race, especially there at the end. No real time to relax. This is a racetrack we pretty much always have to be on the go from the drop of the green flag.
That it is, and now, Ryan, we got a few drivers making their way in, so we're gonna step away from the microphones for a second and set up our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We're gonna talk to our top 2 drivers. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers who finished 1st and 2nd have finally joined us on the podium. And I want to kick things off by talking to the driver in the one machine, Matthew Pilots, picking up your race win here tonight, man. Nice job out there tonight.
Thank you. This is the 2nd week in a row that I've won the Thursday night event, and hopefully I can try to continue this through the season. I thought my championship tension was kind of out of it as I didn't run the first 2 weeks, but I'm catching Dan and Ryan in the points.
Well, keep in mind, iRacing official races have 4 drop weeks. We are in week number 8, so now after this week ends, all the points calculations really start getting kooky, really start getting crazy. But if you keep racking up those wins, you will find a way to make it into championship contention.
Yeah, I did not intend on running the championship in the beginning, but it looks like I'm going to try to do the full season now.
All right, man. Well, a win here tonight at Southern National. A lot of people I'm sure you have to thank and, wipe the sweat off your brow, get you a drink, because thank yous are in order.
Yeah, the two people I need to give a shout out to the most is Dan Smith and Jason Brown for making the iRacing setups. That's really what I'm using here tonight is just one of those setups for Southern Nat and just did some small changes and I was quick.
All right, man. Well, nice job out there tonight. Led all 57 laps as we had a green-white checkered finish. Nice job, man, and good luck in that championship battle.
Thank you very much.
That is Matthew Pilas, the driver of the one machine here tonight. And Ryan, I believe you've caught up with our second place finisher.
JP Winchell comes home in second. JP, we talked about you at the beginning of the broadcast about how consistent you've been. You've been able to put together races from start to finish. Tonight you come home in second. Did you think you had something for Pilas there later? Was he simply too good on those restarts?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, the only thing I needed to beat Matthew there was a blue shell, but I'm afraid we're not playing Mario Kart right now, so I guess that was out of the question. The next best thing I guess I could hope for was just to wait for him to make a mistake. I kind of felt like I was catching him a little bit coming out of the turns a little bit, but I just didn't have anything for him on the long run.
Is that frustrating as a driver to know that obviously your car was very good? You had a good battle with Skylar Brown for a little while, who's going to join us here in just a moment, our third place finisher. But what's that like to you have multiple restarts, you have multiple opportunities, but ultimately you just come up a little bit short, but you still have obviously a very strong second place run here tonight, and in the big picture, a good points tonight as well.
Well, all things considered, I don't find it very frustrating at all because, and obviously one of the hardest cars to drive in pretty much all of iRacing, I'd like to say at this point, being able to fight up in the podium, up in the top three consistently week in and week out, it always puts a smile on my face, and I'm always excited to make my starts every week. I just wish we had some more races throughout the week, because these things are a lot of fun to drive and very rewarding when you get them right.
I know there's a lot of people that make your effort possible. Who would you like to thank here and after your podium finish here in week number 8 at Southern National?
First off, I got to thank Eddie Walzak and Double Clutch, because without him, none of this stuff, nothing you saw tonight would have been possible without him. And also my other sponsor, Wiley Racing Performance, and Scott Wiley for all that he does for the racing efforts. So without those guys, I don't know where I'd be.
JP Winchell, congratulations on another great run, a second place finish for you. We'll move on to New Smyrna next week. Hopefully we'll see you there.
Oh, you bet.
That's your second place finisher tonight in JP Winchell. Catching up now with third and Skylar Brown, who's been very, very impressive since he joined us. Ran last week and had a good run going there. And Skylar, tell us about your night as you come home on the bottom step of the podium in third.
Yeah, it was a not too eventful night. That track's tough. I just bought it today. I just started running laps today a little bit. And it's weird, like you can't drive it hard at all. You got to really drive it easy, and like it's like the easier you drive it, the faster you are. So there towards like in the race there, I had to remind myself not to overdrive it, and then off the corners you got to be like half throttle, 3/4 throttle. And you just got to remind yourself not to overdo it. And then I was happy to get third. I tried for second there at the end and got on the apron and on the banking, and it messed me all up, and I'm just happy to make it third.
Now in real life, you run a lot of dirt cars, midgets, TQ midgets. What's it like to kind of make the transition to podium or to the pavement cars? And I'm sure JT Stapp had a lot of help with you as well.
It's not bad because I've been sim racing since I was like 8 years old, and I started on NASCAR 4. So the pavement stuff and all that jazz was kind of where I started. So this actually feels more natural to me than dirt does, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah. So when I come on here, it just feels like it's just nice getting in a rhythm. It's just really relaxing, I guess, for me. this asphalt stuff for dirt is just crazy, and you got to stay with the track, and it's stressful. And I'm in the pro series in the wing and non-wing stuff, and it is so stressful, and it's just fun to come here and mess around. I'm having a blast.
Well, you kind of make it look effortless. I know last week was a little disappointing for you, but how's it been since you kind of started to run these pavement sprint cars a little bit more, and you jumped into the TV races here?
Yeah, they're awesome. Like, if anybody's watching, you guys need to get in here. Since they redid the setups and all that stuff, these things are awesome. I think that might have been the problem. We didn't have the good setup in it, or people didn't know what to do to make them fast. But I just started running them like 2 weeks ago again because I seen you guys were doing this, and then they became kind of popular. So I figured I'd check it out, and I'm having a blast. Like, it's definitely my favorite car on the service right now, like easily. Like, yeah, it's fun.
John Brown comes home with a third place finish. I appreciate you joining us, and I'm sure we'll see you hopefully at the remaining rounds. And best of luck in your pro sprint car stuff as well on the dirt side.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
KR?
Man, oh man, what a race here tonight at Southern National. A very quick one. These things fire off quickly. These pavement sprint cars are nothing to mess around with. But Ryan, we got nothing left but our race results here. Matthew Pilas picking up the race win. JP Winshittle finishing in second. Third place going to go to the three of Skylar Brown, Justin Benkowski, all the way up into fourth, almost cracking the final step of the podium. Fifth place going to Gavin Morse.
Alex Oriens we talked about him, was riding around that 10th spot, kind of the mid-pack. He comes home in the 6th spot. Kenneth Carlson started 7th and finishes there. Mark Kepner running to the top 10 from his 11th starting spot, finishes in 8th. Ian Habyuk finishes 9th after starting in 17th. And Curtis Critchley started 19th and finished in 10th.
11th place going to be Brian Payne in the 15 machine. 12th will be Clayton Fraley. 13th going to be Richie Morocco, and 14th will be Andre Jutau. 15th going to Manuel Paredes.
Finishing 16th and 2 laps down, got involved in an early accident and kind of rode around after that. Was still competitive in terms of laps, but James Tiernan comes home in 16th. Then comes Ron Quinzel, who was our last caution. He finishes in 17th. And Stephen Maestro and Jeffrey Stanton, 2 guys who started 4th and 5th and were going to be contenders potentially for a win, definitely for a podium tonight. They come home in 18th and 19th. All in all, 13 of the drivers finish on the lead lap and margin of victory tonight. Just a little less than 0.6 of a second. Matthew Pilas, your victor. KR, round number 8 is in the books, and we look towards New Smyrna next week.
Yeah, New Smyrna is where this series is going to land next week. And guys, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you give a thumbs up for these drivers. And if you'd like, go ahead and subscribe to Turn 3 Racing Network. That way you know when we bring you all the best racing action here with the iRacing Pavement Sprint Car. So until next time, guys, y'all, Ryan, you're so good at it. I'm going to let you sign us off.
Well, for my broadcast partner and KR Stolfus and everybody that makes the Turn 3 Racing Network happen and provides us with an opportunity to bring you these fantastic races. This has been the iRacing Sprint Car Cup in week number 8 at Southern National Speedway. After 57 laps where we saw a green-white checkered finish bring Matthew Pilas to the checkered flag first, followed by JP Winshittle and Skylar Brown rounding out your podium. Former broadcast partner KR Stolfus. I'm Ryan Kenton Jr. Until we meet again next Thursday night, where the ground-pounding 900-horsepower pavement sprint cars come to you from New Smyrna Speedway. It's so long and good night from here at Southern National.